Pickaxe.
Hello and welcome to YOMP. Hello and welcome. This is a episode of YOMP that you're listening to on your device. I am Simon the Honeydew Man, Diggy Hole Lane. That's not right, but we're sticking with that. YOMP is a movie discussion podcast. YOMP, Ye Olde Movie Podcast. Do you understand now? Is it inside of your brain, that thought? And of course, I am, as always, joined by the ever fragrant and funky G-Star Games.
Well, hello. Welcome to YOMP. And joined by me is my lovely co-host, Boof Rogerson.
Hello. We've just foregone our introductions. Simon could take up all the time introducing himself, and we just go, yeah, hello.
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 What's going on?
I'm Sophie. Bye. That's it. We're done.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Sophie,
Hi.
first of all, top of the show, I must apologise to you, Sophie Christine Rogerson, aka Boof, calling you a liar last week when you said that it was the same actor who played Sturmbannführer Arnold Ernst Toht in Raiders of the Lost Ark, which we are discussing today. He also played the role of the baby-eating Bishop of Bath and Wells in Blackadder II. And I didn't believe you. I called you a liar. And I stand corrected, as the man said in his orthopedic shoes. You were right, Sophie. Well, I'm sorry.
Thank you for your apology, Simon. I accept it graciously and without any snark. No snark. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No cap.
No cap. I don't even know what that means. Don't know what the fuck it means.
Oh my god, come on.
Wait, who's got a hat? What does it have to do with hats?
No cap for real.
For real.
What does it fucking mean?
I mean, she's not wrong. It doesn't make any sense.
She's never wrong, I've learned that.
Yeah.
I'm savouring this moment.
I've learned my lesson. So, yes, we are discussing a G-Star Games pick this week, as we do about 50% of the time.
As he says.
Despite there being three of us.
Without any spite in his tone or voice.
You'd think it'd be around 33%, wouldn't you? Really?
Listen up, Simon.
Given random chance.
I am 100% leaning towards that the dice rolling application that we use is not a true thing. It's not random, is it? I mean, RNG on computing is not random, but also this is like super not random. I have the feeling where it's just always, it's going to lean more towards the dice is weighted in this fucking website.
I don't think it is that. I think it's just that given a n being a relatively small number, you're going to have, a larger number of x over y. That's just how numbers work. If we were to do 1,000 episodes, it'll even out eventually.
Well, we're going for it. We're going for that.
Let's
just so
go
I can
for
prove
it.
my point. That
we're going to be doing this for 19 years, or however long. Looking forward to it. We're all going to be long dead.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to us gradually dropping like flies.
Murder-suicide.
I was going to say we're going to.
I'm not going to say who is what wrong. Spicy start. Raiders of the Lost Ark, G-Star Games. Why did you add this to your list?
I think this was following off from us watching the Tomb Raider movie, and I was like, because I think Booth hated that movie, and I think you were sort of like, about it. It was like, So I was like, okay, I'll add a nice good, renowned, tomb raiding movie. So I put Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Indiana Jones was in many ways the first Tomb Raider. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Got an all-star cast. You got Harrison Ford. You've got the Bishop of Bath and Wells.
Yeah, you got Alfred Molina.
Yeah, Doc Ock.
Yeah, he's at the very start.
You got that monkey.
You got the monkey, that fucking piece of shit monkey.
I love that piece of shit monkey. I love you, piece of shit monkey.
So angry about that monkey.
Just a traitorous little shit.
He dies.
Yeah, John Rhys Davies is in it. The Welshman as an Egyptian. He played Salah in this film with his 8 children, or 9. These children that Harrison Ford's character Indiana Jones uses as human shields.
What a guy.
I didn't even realize that was that guy's kids. I thought they were just random children.
I thought they were just random children.
Those are his children.
I thought they were just kids.
Isn't that fucked up? Isn't that fucked up? And
That
don't get
is.
me started on his relationship with Marion.
Oh?
Shall we get into this?
Yeah,
from
let's
the
get
start?
into it. Let's get
Okay.
into it, yeah.
Now, so it is the elephant in the room, right? I want us to talk about this and move on, maybe, right?
Is it that he had diarrhea?
It's not about diarrhea. So Marion Ravenwood is the daughter of Indiana Jones's mentor and best friend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Indy fell out with her father, Abner, and hadn't spoken to him in 10 years. And the reason is because he had a relationship with Marion when she was 15 years old,
Oh.
and he was 25.
Oh! What the fuck? I didn't even... Did they say that in the film?
It's kind of alluded to in the film about her. She says that she was a child at the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
The novelization of the film, which I guess is as good as canon as we're going to get, she is explicitly 15, and they were in a relationship till she was about 17, maybe 16. And he was 27.
At which point she was too old for him.
Yep. So yeah, that's why he had a falling out with her father.
I could have gone the rest of my life without knowing that, honestly.
So yeah,
nuts, innit?
there we go. Iconic character, Indiana Jones. Da 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 da. What a way to start. What a way to start.
I fucking can't with you, man.
So, that is all real, by the way. That is real.
It's not just making this
yeah.
shit up for a laugh.
No.
I can't.
I would never do that, especially to G-Star games. Well, I would, but I didn't in this case.
Yeah, I can never tell sometimes.
Yeah.
That's awful. But, I mean, it's like, it was in the... Hold on, it was... So the movie's...
Well, 20s.
Yeah. So this is set in 36, I think, when it's later on. So if he was...
it's 1926.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time...
Which, it was perfectly fine for a 25-year-old man to seduce the 15-year-old daughter of his mentor.
Well, at the time, those ages were more, it wasn't so frowned
Socially
upon.
acceptable.
Exactly, yeah. So
right.
context around the history and time does matter. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying it was more common at that time, even though the mentor still fell out with him.
I could make a really terrible joke about the big anime fan defending this kind of relationship, but I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not going to. I'm going to say the P word. Pervert,
yeah. No, I don't condone it. I'm just saying the time of the, it does make a difference.
Thank you, G, for defending Indiana Jones. So yeah, the film starts with Indiana Jones on a little quest to get a golden idol. He's in South America. The year is 1936. And he has Alfred Molina with him, Doc Ock, in his first cinematic role. Alfred Molina, I guess, is playing a South American man. He's actually half Spanish, half Italian. But, I mean, John Rhys Davies plays an Egyptian and he's Welsh. So, whatever. We have an incredible scene where they go into the cave where the idol is, and Indiana Jones has a few spiders on his back.
Oh, God.
And Molina tidies up. I don't know the name of the character. I don't even know if there was one. Maybe there was.
I think it was, where was I? I wrote it down. At some point, I wrote a lot of shit down, actually. I wrote down, should have left this dickhead, lol, at some point. What a pretty spider coat. I think it was like Salim.
Satipo, it's saying.
Sapito or something.
Sapito, sure. So he cleans off like a few of these spiders on Indy's back, and they're big spiders, they're tarantulas, the real deal.
Yep.
And then he turns around so Indy can check if there's anything on his back. And there is. There's many more spiders on his back.
That's the pretty spider coat.
It's horrid.
Yeah,
I wrote down
it is horrid.
That Indy is so cool. He brings a whip to a gunfight. Like, you didn't think he's just so fucking cool, right?
Yeah.
That's smart.
Indiana Jones saves Sapito by grabbing him by his penis, to stop him from falling down a
Pretty
hole.
much. Yeah.
He's like, here, let me hold your penis. Let me hold your stretchy foreskin.
It's a good job he hasn't got a micro penis, otherwise he would have just died.
He would have died.
That would have been it.
Would have died.
So, Indiana Jones, he finds the golden idol. He has to carefully navigate these pressure sensitive flagstones. And he has his little bag of sand that he uses to replace the idol, because there's obviously a weight-operated trap that he knows about underneath it. But, so I did look this up, and I'm sure this has been noted by many people. Cinema sins, ding! But the bag of sand is about the same size as the idol, right?
Right.
Yeah,
that he replaced it. It's about the same size. The problem is that
it's supposed to be the same weight.
Yeah, the problem is gold is about 12 times the density of sand, dry sand. So he would need a bag of sand 12 times bigger than the one he actually uses. So no wonder it doesn't work and the trap goes off.
He tried to be clever as well, and he took a bit of sand out of the bag, thinking, "Oh yeah, this looks about right."
So yeah, cinema sin, ding, ding. So you can, I wrote in my notes. You can tell he's not a professor of physics.
Lol, like we are, Simon.
Oh, feels
sad.
bad.
Feels bad, man. No degrees from us two.
Hey, we tried though. We had a passion and we went for it.
We did, because we like Star Trek.
We liked Star Trek and we liked Carl Sagan.
And we wanted to learn astrophysics.
I wanted to go to space.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we could kind of discuss Indy's look here, right? Because we get it all early on. He has his hat, he has his leather jacket, he has the whip, he's got his sort of unshaven chin. He's not wearing glasses, and when he's like in character as the professor, he wears glasses. Now, I was wondering, is he like Superman?
You can't tell that.
When he's like Clark Kent.
He's in disguise.
You know, he's still going by the name of Indiana Jones, presumably. Or maybe he's Henry Jones. Or
no, because he said the professor man comes in and calls him Indiana. And I'm thinking, how common is a name? Indiana. Where's parents' hippies? Like,
it's a state, right?
Yeah, but I don't think people were going around calling their kids Idaho in the 20s or the 1910s.
G should have been called that. Am I right?
Yay.
High five.
Hey. Sorry, I zoned you. I wasn't listening.
Wow.
So get fucked.
Wow.
Idaho. I mean, it's like people were called John and Gabe. I don't know. Like, they weren't called fucking Arkansas back then. Nowadays, kids are called anything. You
They're
just
called
pick
River.
Pick a word. Pick a word.
Willow.
And you just pick a word. You can call your kid it these days.
Yeah.
Just change the spelling a bit. You've got yourself a Tesco club card.
I saw someone's kid's name, like she called him Jade, and I'm just thinking, that's the normal way to spell it. And then when it's spelled out, it's Jaid. I'm like, can you just not? It's Jade. Why?
What if you pronounce it like it rhymes with said?
Jed.
But that makes it even worse because Jed is a name and it's Jed, and it's like,
oh my god, this is confusing.
This is very confusing.
So what do we think about the look of Indiana Jones?
He's
You're
hot.
both.
He's hot. He's a very handsome, attractive, gorgeous man.
Yep. And his students at school think so too, because they're all girls. They're really, really into archaeology and anthropology.
Oh my god. The girl who has "Love You" written on her fucking eyelids.
I wanted to fucking put forks in my eyes when I saw that scene.
So hey, you know the later scene when Marcus Brody goes round to Indiana Jones's house, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And he's like in a dressing gown. He's acting a little bit sort of out of sorts initially.
Stop trying to make him out to be a pedo. Well, he is kind of a pedo.
No, this is legitimately something that was in the script initially. Apparently, Indiana Jones he was entertaining a young lady in his bedroom.
I hate you.
When Marcus came round.
I hate you.
So the idea was that you would see the girl, right?
Yeah.
And it would feel like Indiana Jones was like a player, like he's,
Bit of a
like
playboy,
a James Bond kind of, playboy. But
God.
Steven Spielberg thought that it didn't fit his persona of being more academic. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it could well have been the Love You eyelid girl, or another of his actual students. And he's just going through them one by one.
That's why he slept with a 15-year-old.
Right.
Yep.
That's awful.
Da, 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 da. Iconic character, Indiana Jones.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, rough, innit? A bit rough.
Yeah.
Okay, where were we? Alfred Molina double crosses Indiana Jones and runs off with the idol. But Indiana Jones goes after him and just discovers his dead body. Unconvincing dummy of a dead body.
To be fair, it wasn't too bad. I've seen worse, honestly.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll allow that one.
And he's just got on a bunch of spikes.
Yeah, he's been skewered by the trap that Indy clearly was saying, hey, be careful now. There's a lot of these traps on the way in.
Yeah, stay out the light.
Why did he bring him? Why did he not leave him at the entrance? He's just going to fucking hold him back.
I think the idea is that, maybe the guy he brings with him dies to a trap that Indy didn't know was there.
Right. So that's why Indy he's just bringing guys. He's just bringing locals around to sort of.
Well, and I think they
get impaled.
Yeah.
I think they just need a guide to get them to a certain spot or know the lay of the land a bit more, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but then as soon as you get to the place,
say wait outside.
Wait outside.
Look after the donkeys.
Could you hold my handbag?
Yeah.
I won't be a minute.
Well, I found it weirder when the other guy, I know this is skipping ahead a bit, but when the other guy showed up with all the natives, and I'm just like, what?
Belloc.
Yeah, him.
Belloc.
It's like, what's the point of why are they defending him? What is he paying them? Do they even require money? Like, what's happening?
Of course he is. He's got Nazi fucking money behind him. He's got the backing of...
What would they possibly want, though? That's what I want to know.
Just any kind of mystical artifact around the world that could have actual real power.
Right.
That's what Hitler was after, we learn in the film.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, Indy, he grabs the idol, runs off, the fucking boulder comes, we get the iconic giant boulder that is right behind him. Like, I'm honestly surprised he didn't die. And then he just ends up falling outside, and yep, there is Belloc, the French archaeologist and rival to Indiana Jones. He loves the Nazis, loves working with them, taking their money. Big fan.
Yeah.
And a bunch of angry natives chase after him. And that's when we see the two donkeys. There's two donkeys just hanging out.
They're just hanging out. When he's running away, he's smoking.
Is he?
Really?
Not like smoking a cigarette, like his jacket and his hat.
Oh, it's all the
Right.
sand and dust and shit.
But he's just smoking. He's just running around smoking. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You got very dusty in that.
It's like a horse after a race. The steam
Oh,
coming
it's
off
very
of him.
sweaty.
Yeah. Indy's yelling at his pilot, Jock, to start up the engine of this seaplane that he's going to leave in. But the guy's like busy fishing, and he even kind of like hesitates because he thinks he's got a fish. And I was so angry.
Yeah, he was very hesitant to drop the line.
But then they take off in this shitty little plane, and in Indiana Jones's lap is a snake. And he tells Jock this, and Jock's just like, yeah, this is my pet snake, Reggie. And Indiana Jones, we learn, hates snakes. Not big on snakes.
I wrote down, it's a good job Harrison Ford wasn't flying the plane.
Oh,
True.
no. Oh, no.
Ah!
Oh, no.
Crashes.
Oh, no.
And then we hear the music. Da, 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 the titles roll.
Well, doesn't
End
he,
credits.
he flies in his, I mean, now, or maybe a few years back. Didn't he used to fly planes and crash a bunch of them?
That's the joke.
Yeah. I
In
thought
real
so.
life, Harrison Ford crashed planes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought so. I love how, like, fucking irrationally angry he gets sometimes. Like, during that scene especially. Like, I know he hates snakes, but he was fucking livid. He was not happy.
He almost died several times. He lost the fucking idol because this French prick stole it off of him.
Yeah.
French.
And he leaves with nothing. You know?
Yeah.
I would be angry. And he has a fucking snake in his lap. And he don't like him.
I guess. But he was bopping off, like, hard.
Yeah.
Simon, imagine you get into a car, someone's driving the car, someone's driving the Uber for you, and a spider's sitting in your lap, and you're going, oh, what the fuck is this? And they go, that's my pet spider, Ranchi. And
I
you
would
get,
just open the fucking passenger door and just yeet myself out.
at least you'd leave Ranchi in there. Ranchi, he's strapped in, he's got his little booster seat.
What is he called? Ranchy?
Because he's a tarantula, he's called Ranchi.
Your brain.
Love you, Ranchi.
I love your fucking dumb brain.
We always used to go.
Ranchy?
We used to run around the islands on Animal Crossing trying to catch as many ranches as we could. We're going ranch hunting for ranch.
So we meet the very different persona of Indiana Jones, which I don't know if this is the real him or whether the one we saw earlier is the real Indiana Jones. Who knows?
What do you like? Because he's so, like, you know, hair combed to the side, suit,
Got his glasses on.
glasses. Yeah.
Definitely not having sex with his students.
Stop! Why are you ruining this fucking movie for me? And his character, God.
And also, it's an archaeology class in the 1930s. God only knows what they're being taught in that class, and what horrific names for indigenous peoples they're using that are just being thrown around.
Yeah.
Anyway, da 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 da.
So the guy, the professor man says, "Oh, some people from the government are here to talk to you, Indy."
And he's called Brody, and Brody is the name of a character in Jaws, and Jaws was also directed by Steven Spielberg.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
And he says, "All right, so this is all strictly confidential." And then they talk in this massive echoey room.
Yeah.
Anyone could be eavesdropping in without ever being seen. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of doors open as well, I can see in the scene too.
Yeah,
so.
and they're talking very loudly as well. They're like, oh, the Nazis, right?
To be
they're
honest,
over here.
sorry to cut you off, but if I ever heard someone saying Nazis, Lost Ark, big scary lightning, I would just think that they're planning like a weird sort of D&D session, or it just sounds like nonsense. It doesn't sound real at all what they're saying. It sounds like gobbledygook.
They're just talking about a story, a short story that's some weird tales.
Yeah. It sounds nonsense.
Do the students know that Indiana Jones just goes running around the world nicking stuff?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
But even if they did, they'd probably want to fuck him more.
Right.
Oh my god.
Am I
G-Star
wrong?
Games.
Am I wrong?
G-Star Games.
Am I wrong?
They'd be like, so that's the real reason you've got a whip in your closet.
Oh my god.
Because that's the first thing he fucking packs when he has to go away. He's like, take me whip, just in case I see any hot bitches.
He's got all these leather clothes. He's got his whip.
So the Nazis, right, want this magical fucking thing that's been lost in Egypt for a while because they've figured out that if you put this shiny thing on the top of a staff, it points to the location of the Ark, and they're already there. So they found this city, this town, whatever it is.
There's the lost city of Tanis.
That's the one.
There was a sandstorm that buried it, a year-long sandstorm that buried this town, lost forever. And in this town is a place called the Well of Souls, and that is where the Ark of the Covenant is located. And the key to finding where it is to have a staff with a very strange head on top of it that shines a laser at the location at a particular time of the day. And this is important because this actually comes up later.
Yes.
But, I mean, the Army intelligence people are just... at this point, surely they think he's mad. But they just accept it. They're just like, that sounds reasonable. Yes.
And the fact is that someone has come to the army and said, Hitler's looking for this magic box in the desert. And they're like, oh my God, sounds plausible.
No, not again.
No, not again. Hitler in the magic box. I'm going to write a children's book, Hitler's Magic Box.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and also it was Indy's former mentor that had found the location of this lost city or the staff or something.
He found the staff, the top of the staff.
Right. Of course. Yes.
So they were like, do you know where he is? And he's like, no, rumors. I don't really know.
No, for no particular reason. We've not talked in 10 years. Da, 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 da.
My favorite thing was when they were talking to him about the, like, you know, Hitler wanting the sort of magical fucking artifact, and then I think one of the guys said that he's a nut on the subject of collecting religious artifacts, and I'm like, yeah, because he's very calm and cool and everything else, but he's a nut because he's, you know, wanting to collect religious artifacts. That's what makes him unhinged.
Is it during the war, or is it like on the lead up to the war, innit?
So 36 is... When did
the war was 39 till 45.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Do you not go to fucking school?
I forgot what year this was based on.
I'm losing my mind.
It's in the lead up to the war, and Hitler's decided, you know what?
I need religious artifacts.
Having this religious artifact.
He wants an edge over, and he believes in the occult. He knows that out there are going to be real, actual artifacts. There has to be, right? There has to be. Some of these have to have power, and I'm going to be the one to get them and to use them.
Yeah,
it's like in 14 TV. They did an interview with the woman who has the Holy Grail.
Was it the cool vicar who rides on the bike that did the interview?
Well, no, they did an interview with this woman who has the actual Holy Grail, and it's this woman in England, and she has her identity.
Penitent man.
She has her identity hidden because she doesn't want anybody to know that she's the one with the Holy Grail. She brings it out in this fucking broken wooden cup that she gets water in, and then people drink out of it. And I'm thinking, yeah,
It's the
okay.
cup of a carpenter. It would be just a humble wooden cup.
Of course it would.
be.
But why would it be in a fucking woman's house in bloody Sussex or whatever it was?
It'd be funny if she brought out one of those cups you get at the cinema, and it was like The Force Awakens, and it had like Rey
McDonald's.
Skywalker
Yeah, it's a McDonald's cup, a collector's cup.
with Grimace on it.
Got Garfield.
The Grimace Shake limited edition cup.
You die if you drink it out of it.
Oh my god, they do. They do
Yeah,
die. I've seen
they
it
do,
on
they do.
TikTok.
Hated that trend.
So yeah, Indy, he doesn't actually believe in God or magic, superstition, or any of that nonsense. But he believes that, you know, historical artifacts.
He doesn't
should
believe in
be-
the age of consent either.
Fuck me! I can't believe it. I was trying to say something funny there, and I forgot what it was.
He doesn't believe in God. He
God
doesn't believe
power,
in magic.
but he does believe in historical artifacts and that they should be taken away from their home countries and their rightful potential owners and taken and put in a museum in the United States.
He's sounding so British, though, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at the end of the movie, I put, top secret army intel. That's all going to end up in the British Museum.
Yeah.
The end! Exclamation point.
That's the Greek part of you saying that.
It is.
It's sour grapes, G-Star Games.
It's yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird.
It is. So Indy boards a little plane to head to Cairo. Wait, no, not Cairo. Nepal. Because that's where Abner's daughter, Marion, is located.
I'm there going, why the fuck is he going to Nepal? And it's got this stupid thing, this stupid
Oh, don't
little
say
scene.
it. Don't say it. The plane
map.
flying. Oh no, I liked
love that shit. I
it.
love that
But
shit
did you
so
notice
much.
who else was on the plane?
Who did you notice? It's a blink and you'll miss it scene.
It's a blink and you'll miss it scene of a man that he looks quite evil and also quite German.
He looks like an evil Nazi.
Yeah, it's
or
weird, though.
maybe he looks like a bishop
Could
of
be,
Bath and Wells, maybe. So yeah, Indy is being tracked by the Nazis even at this point. Then we have the weird drinking competition scene with Marion and some other person in Nepal. She is really knocking back shot after shot.
Because it's important to note that she's not like other girls.
Yes.
Exactly. And everyone leaves as soon as the drinking competition ends. Like, literally everyone leaves. And Marion's left behind because this is actually her bar
Yeah.
that she runs in Nepal. And she has a lovely necklace with her.
Yeah. Not you didn't notice
she's
it
wearing.
at
Very
first.
distinctive. It's very large. Almost as large as, like, the headpiece for a staff, I would say.
It's like I have two necklaces that are sort of big and unwieldy. And even I think that is a big necklace. It's not
Yeah.
one to be worn.
But she wants it on her at all times, except, you know,
When somebody
she-
asks for it,
yeah,
So she
and
just
then she
puts it
leaves it. Yeah, brilliant. Well, she is shit-faced. Indiana Jones shows up, and they have an awkward conversation, and we've kind of been over this, where she reveals she was in love with him when she was a child. She does literally say that. Yeah, which explains why Indy and her father hadn't spoken in 10 years. But it's fine now. You know, she's a grown lady.
water under the bridge, innit?
Yeah. She is not going to help Indiana Jones. Well, maybe she will, but he's going to have to come back tomorrow and talk to her. And yeah, so Marion goes to get herself a drink or potter around. She just leaves the necklace just out in the open on the table. And the Nazis come in. And there's the man from the plane, Sturmbannführer Toht, who grabs a hot poker and threatens to poke her with the hot poker.
Can someone make a Nazi joke, just to get it out of the
Mhm.
way because I'm
Go
about
on.
to explode.
Come on. I want to hear it.
I bet they
I'm gonna
did
give you a
Nazi
rating.
and comic. No, it's the Nazi joke. It's the
F.
typical fucking
F
Nazi
tier.
joke. Well, obviously,
F tier.
it's going
Dog
to be
shit.
shit. It's good because it's the obvious one, but somebody has to say it.
Oh, we could have gone the whole episode without anyone making that joke and no one would have cared.
I don't know. It's just the way my brain works.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, do you know what? I appreciate you trying to be funny. But remember, you are a woman.
Shut the fuck up. Get on. Go on with what you were talking about.
So yeah, Toht threatens to torture Marion, and he's very keen on it. He just jumps straight into doing it, which kind of shows the man he is, and he's got a gleeful look on his face. But thankfully, Indiana Jones is here, and he whips the poker away, right?
Yeah. I like the way that, he's left, but he's obviously just hanging around. He's just fucking
Stalking her.
Can't
Yeah.
get rid of him. He's so normal.
Yeah. Well, I guess the Nazis did arrive immediately after he left, within a minute of him leaving. So yeah, there's a bit of a fight, a bit of a kerfuffle.
He in saving her life, he does set fire to her home and place of business.
Yeah, and the worst thing about that is that Marion couldn't take out insurance for this licensed premises in Nepal. So she's lost everything.
She didn't seem that bothered though. I thought she'd be a bit more pissed, but she seemed fine.
The fact that nobody else shows up as well, like, oh my god, that bar that we were just in is on fire.
Quick, get some buckets of water. Like no one
cares. And because Indy gave her some money to like bribe her, saying, I'll come back tomorrow and get, I'll give you $3,000 or whatever it was for this stupid bronze medallion that your dad had.
Yeah.
She's like, well, maybe. And she's more mad about losing that cash.
I guess so.
Even though dollars, she can't spend in Nepal.
I don't know. Maybe maybe certain people do use dollars there. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what money they would use in Nepal in the 1930s.
Hey, Nepal.
So there's a key thing here where there's a fire, the medallion's on the floor, surrounded by flames. Toht goes to grab it, and it burns his hand.
And so he jumps through a window, because his hand hurt.
I mean, fair enough.
Oh, fuck. I mean, he could go out the door. He could have gone, blood. If I burnt my hand, I'd probably, put it under my armpit, going, fucking son of a bitch, shit, fuck.
In a nice, warm, toasty place. You'd put...
Well, no, because what you're supposed to do, if you do get a burn, supposed to return it to body temperature as quickly as possible.
Body temperature, really? I've always thought it was get it cold.
If you don't have anything sort of cold around you, trying to return it to body temperature is...
How do you do that, though?
Put it under your armpit.
So if you burn your hand, you can put it under your armpit. But what if you burn, your foot? I guess you can still put a foot under an armpit.
Sit cross-legged. Put your foot in your
armpit.
Quite. Oh, I can. I can put my foot under my armpit. Okay.
He's very bendy, Simon.
He is very bendy.
Oh, it feels very snug. I don't think I could do the other one at the same time.
You cross your legs, and you can put it in the crook of your knee.
I don't want to, just in case it gets stuck like that.
I am stuck. I've got a cat on my knee now.
Oh
my legs
God.
are numb. Have you heard of purring on and off?
I heard it once.
Hey, Brenda, what do you think of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark? Forgot what film it was.
Oh,
there was a little rumble.
Rumbling.
She's having a little fucking rumble. She says she loves it.
Oh.
Yeah, you watched it with me, didn't you? Yeah.
So yeah, Toht's hand is burnt by the medallion, and Marion declares that she is now partners with Indy.
She's got the hots for him.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens if you are groomed from a young age. You never really get over it.
Oh, God. Literally, that's what's happening here, isn't it?
He really took advantage of a child, and now she's like, wow, this man actually, he really liked me. He thinks I'm so mature and not like other girls. So
Da, 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 da.
I'm going to attach myself to this man even more. Even though he took advantage of me then, he won't do the same now.
They fly to Cairo, and this is when we meet John Rhys Davies and his spawn. Multiple children he's had. He's had a very fruitful marriage with his wife. And there's also a cheeky monkey.
Monkey.
The monkey seems to be new on the scene. The kids are loving its presence.
It's got a jacket on, so you know that it's tame.
Yeah, and it's to distinguish it from any other monkey that you might see, I guess. So that when you see it, you're like, that's the same monkey.
Apparently there's tons of monkeys there.
Mhm.
I guess so.
It's like in fucking Aladdin as well. They were just like, there's a friendly monkey in a jacket and a hat as well.
You say that. I think the guy that did the monkey noises, because there was a man going, he actually voiced the monkey in Aladdin. Yeah.
There's this man that is known for monkey noises in Hollywood.
Frank Welker is his name.
Get the man that
Or
does
Welker.
the monkey noises for us.
It might not be German. Frank Welker. He made the chattering sounds of the monkey, including the Sieg Heil-like chirp the monkey gives.
I loved that. I thought that was brilliant.
Me.
I thought a monkey doing a fucking Nazi salute and going...
I was appalled. I'm sure when I was a kid I laughed at it, but now I hate it.
I laughed at it.
Steven Spielberg found it hilarious, so I guess that's fine.
Monkeys doing really fucked up stuff. That's great.
They do. They fucking do. And this monkey's a spy.
A Nazi spy.
We learn pretty quickly. Indy learns that Belloc is in Cairo, digging a hole. Diggy hole. And we see the spy run off to a one-eyed man, and then he does his weird salute, and there's Nazis there, and it's, I hate the monkey. What more can I say? I hate the fucking monkey so much. It's such a sweet and innocent creature, and they trained it to be a Nazi.
It's like that
Messed
dog.
up.
Do you know that man that got in trouble because he taught
God.
his dog to react to Nazi words and
Real
stuff?
dick move to do, isn't it?
And he was like, "Whoa, it's wrong. It's just a joke." And it's like, yeah, but you're the one that's literally saying these things to this dog because you think it's funny.
Dog doesn't know about the atrocities that the Nazis did.
Don't know nothing.
No. So yeah, we get a fun action scene where a bunch of these goons attack Indy and Marion, and Marion ends up on the back of a truck. She goes and hides in a basket, and then the monkey fucking snitches on her.
Did you appreciate that when there was a fight going on and stuff, she found a box to hit them with, but she was just sort of tapping them with it. She wasn't doing nothing because you're not paying attention to her at that time. You're paying attention to the action.
Oh, but
and
you were looking at her.
I was looking at her going, what the fuck is she doing? And she's just going, oh.
My favorite part is when, I don't know if you noticed, but
the diarrhea scene.
No, it's Indiana Jones / Harrison Ford. He manhandles very aggressively. I don't know if you noticed. With her, with the guy at the beginning of the film, when he grabs someone, it's insane.
He yanks on him.
Yeah, it's really
I wouldn't mind
aggressive.
being manhandled by 80s Harrison Ford, though.
Oh, not so much these days.
Well, listen, I'd be the one manhandling him. I'd be like, come on, get to bed. You've had enough.
Oh, is it 7 p.m. already, dear?
Why does he sound like a barrel? An 80-year-old barrel.
That's just what Harrison Ford's voice sounds like these days.
Yeah.
Just a grumpy
Sorry.
man, I think, in general. He's always been a grumpy man. So he perfectly encapsulates the grumpy
diarrhea
old man.
Scene.
Yes.
Diarrhea scene. Do you want to talk about the diarrhea scene? And do you have the
You seem very excited about this diarrhea scene. So yeah, go on.
I've
Right.
got IBS!
First of all, as well, it's so acceptable. It's so acceptable in this particular place in Cairo for everyone to just start killing each other.
Yeah, apparently.
Like,
yeah.
but it's like there's a lot of murder and stuff. There's a lot of fighting and murder, and everyone's just like, whatever.
Well, those times it was kind of acceptable because, like, I don't remember when sort of like, I mean, it's not the West, right? But I'm just saying, like, it was a bit more unruly. No, I mean, like in the Wild West with like cowboys, and things were just more like, do whatever you want. If you got a sword or if you got a gun, you can kill whoever. It's fine. It's free game. Go for it. More acceptable.
You know, maybe there's a 15-year-old girl who's the daughter of your mentor, and you manhandle her. Yep. So, oh god, where's this trivia about the Harrison Ford had horrible diarrhea? He had a belly full of liquid shit.
That's the kind of representation that Simon looks for in Hollywood.
Honestly,
How shitty is this man?
Yeah. The famous scene in which Indy shoots a marauding and flamboyant swordsman was not in the original script. Harrison Ford was supposed to use his whip to get the sword out of his attacker's hands, but the food poisoning he and the rest of the crew had gotten made him too sick to perform the stunt. After several unsuccessful tries, Ford suggested shooting the sucker. Steven Spielberg immediately took him up on the idea, and the scene was successfully filmed. So yeah, when they were filming this in Tunisia, not Cairo, but they filmed in Tunisia, almost everyone in the cast and crew had food poisoning, apart from, notably, Steven Spielberg. And the reason why he didn't get food poisoning is because he was eating SpaghettiOs that he brought tins and tins of.
Oh my God.
He was living off of SpaghettiOs. And
I
this
like
is just
this man.
like Warwick Davis and his chocolate digestives. He did the same thing.
I like this man more and more, you know, like the fact that he did that. And yeah, all right, here's a little bit of triv for you about Sophie. Here's some Sophie triv.
Unsubscribe.
When I go visit,
I knew it. I was waiting for him to say that.
When I go to Bristol, when I travel anywhere, I basically just pack a load of snacks because I can't really manage to eat properly when I'm away from home, even when I'm at home, to be honest. But like the most I'll have is like maybe I'll go to Sainsbury's and buy a sandwich or something, you know?
Yeah, especially around like Jingle Jam when it's busy, it's difficult to actually find the time to fucking actually eat.
Yeah, and I'm not paying somebody at the hotel to bring me things.
Do you remember me and G with our Deliveroo fucking chicken katsu noodles slurping them? Because we had 2 streams back to back. Trying to get a hold of Lewis, who forgot that he was doing the stream.
Mr. Nobody emailed me, Brindley.
It's so well organised. It was like clockwork.
I was sitting with Duncan and he Deliverooed something to the office and he was watching it. What was it? It was a Five Guys and he was just watching it go round and round and round Bristol and never show up. It was cold by the time it got there. It's like, Anyway, if I travelled to a foreign country as well, I'd be scared I wouldn't be able to get me biscuits. Even when I was a kid, actually, I went to Gran Canaria and I just ate fucking cheese puffs in bread. And
you'd never got food poisoning the whole trip?
No, I was absolutely fine. I did get stung by a jellyfish. So,
well, I mean, that couldn't really have been avoided by the food choices.
You guys are going to hate me for this reference, but I don't give a fuck. But in I think it was the first Sex and the City movie, they all go to...
Oh my God.
I knew it. They all go to fucking Mexico for a holiday, or because Carrie's on the honeymoon or whatever, and one of them she just refuses to eat any of the food there, and she just keeps eating this fucking chocolate pudding thing that she's brought from, back home. And she ate so much of it the entire time that she shit her pants. The doors were locked and she couldn't get inside and she just fucking shit her pants.
To be fair, like, I'd probably end up doing the same thing. But like, I'm actually, you know what? I cannot eat Nature Valley bars because they give me a very, very upset tummy.
Really?
So if I'd have gone it somewhere and all I had was Nature Valley bars to eat,
it's because it's high in fiber and you just shit yourself.
I don't know what it is, but I get the worst gastritis from it.
Well, it is high in fiber, so it can produce gas and stuff, but also it can irritate the lining of the bowel. All this weird, grains that you've taken in.
Why are we talking about this stuff?
Right, where were we? Marion is in a basket and she's carried off. They have the basket on their head and they walk off with her. And then Indy follows and there's like an open square and everyone is carrying the identical looking basket. And I found that very funny.
It was
and
funny.
people are more angry that he's knocking their laundry off their heads than they were for people being shot and killed in...
Yeah.
They were like, "Oi, what are you fucking doing? What are you doing? It's my laundry."
They're just so used to it. It must happen like almost every day. Someone's going around knocking the fucking baskets over as they're carrying them.
It's like those tropes where it's like somebody's walking across a road with a plate glass window, or like somebody's got loads of boxes of fruit for a car chase to drive through. Every day.
Yeah. Well, that's my living just ruined now.
Got to pay for that out of pocket.
Yeah. So Marion, it looks like she's been loaded into this truck that explodes.
I'm laughing my ass off.
Indy's watching this in horror, thinking Marion is fucking dead. So he goes off, he has a bit of a drink of whiskey with the monkey! The fucking monkey!
Jesus.
He's like hanging out with this little friend, he's like kissing it and hugging it, tickling its ears. Well, maybe not that, but I'm kind of imagining that he's doing that, saying, "Oh, I love you, little fella. You're my only friend. You're my Marion now."
How old are you, monkey?
You little, tiny little thing. Belloc summons Indy, and he's a real smug asshole. He pretty much always is, honestly.
It's just French, Simon. It's, comes with the territory.
Wow, G-Star Games. Damn. Based. Belloc informs Indy that he believes the Ark of the Covenant does actually have real power, and it is a direct way to communicate with God. It's a transmitter directly to God.
It's a radio, isn't it? It's a little radio.
Yeah. Indy's like about to lose his temper, and this is when all the little kids arrive surrounding Indy, and he slowly walks out of this bar surrounded by these human shield children of Salas, which is really fucked up, isn't it? So fucked up. Then we have this great scene. The owner of the monkey poisons the dates in Sala's kitchen, and the little kid brings in the plate of food and drink. And Indy picks up a date, but he's so busy talking about, the staff and the Ark of the Covenant that he doesn't quite get to eat it. He's about to put it in his mouth, and then he continues talking, and there's a lot of teasing about that, and it's very funny. It's very funny that Indiana Jones is about to die, and we see the spy monkey is there, and the spy monkey picks up a date.
Monkey.
That's what I called it in my notes. And there's an old dude there, an imam, who deciphers this message that's on the medallion. There's a warning about disturbing the Ark, and it describes the height of the Staff of Ra, so that you can have it at the right angle to show the location of where the Well of Souls is, which is where the Ark is located. But on the other side of the medallion, it says, "Oh no, actually the staff is very slightly shorter," which makes no sense that it would have that. That makes no sense. It says it's 6 whatever measurements high, and then on the back it says, "Oh, actually it's 1 less because of God."
Yeah.
Nonsense.
And this
Fucking
is why
nonsense.
This is when we find out that Belloc is digging in the wrong place, because Toht obviously got his hand burned by the medallion, but it was only on one side. So he only had
So he
that.
doesn't know the second part
He
of the
doesn't know
message.
the second part of the message, so that he's like, they're digging in the wrong place because the staff was too long.
Oh, and as they say, it's like one of these measurements shorter because of God. There's like the wind howls and everything blows around and it's a bit strange. Oh.
It's like when what? It's Young Frankenstein when they say the housekeeper's name and the horses start neighing every single time because
Oh
of
my
God.
God.
Ooh. Oh, what was it? What film was it?
What
It
was
was
what
a
was the name?
Galaxina. Was it fucking? Yeah.
The Blue Crystal or whatever it's called.
We've already forgotten.
Yeah. Well, that was a long time ago. Galaxina was episode 5.
Wow.
We're on 37 now.
Bloody hell. It's nearly a year ago, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no. Not quite. So, they celebrate. Jones and Salah are like, yay! And then Indy throws the date up into the air, about to catch it in his mouth. And then Salah just grabs it with his fist, catches it in the air. And then he looks over and we see the dead monkey on the floor.
Monkey.
And he says, bad dates.
Yep.
Bad dates. Yeah. I'm sure that's it. They're just out of date. Out of dates.
Out of dates. Right.
Yeah. Very funny. I love that the monkey's dead now.
Wow.
Also, I got an interesting little trivia fact here. The total body count in the movie is 64, including the monkey.
Right. Okay.
64 people die over the course of the film. 11 by Indiana Jones directly killing them. So,
Wait, is it 64 in total? 64 up until this point?
in total, including the monkey that just died.
Feels like more people died, but because like at the end there's like quite a lot, right? So
Yeah, that's included in that total. That's quite a lot of people to die in a film. G. This isn't Rambo.
I don't know. I just don't really ever.
How many people die in Rambo? Actually, in the first one, not that many.
Probably quite a few, especially as they progress.
The cops in that car that just like blew up, they died 100%. Anyway, so Indy and Salah infiltrate the Nazi dig site, and they see that slightly further away from it, there's this little hole that goes into the earth, and this is the hole that has the little model of the
Little model
lost
village.
city. Yeah, little model. It's like Born on the Water, and this is the model of the lost city of Tanis, and this is where you stick the staff to find the location. Obviously, the Nazis had the slightly taller staff, so they're digging in the wrong place.
Well, no, because there was Nazi. There was German writing on one of the little building.
One of the little
It said Nicht
Right.
Stocken, or
Right.
whatever, and I was like, okay, maybe they were here, but they didn't think it was anything
Not
of importance. and-
something.
Yeah, it was bizarre. I was like, okay, maybe they were here and they thought, okay, it's not working, so we got to look somewhere else.
No slacking, I think it means.
No slacking. Dig quick.
Yeah,
quick here.
no slacking, like in the Chuckle Brothers.
Oh,
No slacking.
Oh, is this the scene
Rest in
where he
peace.
drops the fucking stick and it's the worst CGI I've ever seen?
Yeah.
Indy puts he's made a staff of Ra that's the correct height, and he's put the headpiece on it. The light it's like 9 a.m. and the light is in the right place to shine through the hole. And the light hits the headpiece, and yeah, there's like a strange laser that shoots.
And as soon as it hits the right spot, everything lights up like, whoa! And I'm thinking, so the Nazis probably didn't get that reaction. They were just like, it's there. Like, when does it stop? Okay, the sun is moving quite quickly, might I add, through this hole, through the medallion, and you can see it like a laser beam going, and then it reaches it and it lights up. When did the Nazis...
The Nazis wouldn't have had the laser because they don't have the crystal in the medallion / staff head.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
had to just
So
sort of
they were just fucking
make it up.
guessing.
Yeah. But they're very convinced. Well, Belloc is in charge, and he's convinced that it's the right place. And he's got all these people digging in
This
the
is-
wrong fucking place.
Do you think they'd mocked up a medallion? Like,
They must have done. Well, just use a lens or something to focus the light.
no wonder they fucked up,
They did everything wrong, didn't they, here? They did everything wrong.
including invading Poland.
Damn. So, yeah, Indy breaks the staff, leaves the little chamber, and they're walking through the camp, and he's really bad at, like, covering his face with this headscarf.
Gee,
So that
were you
people
about?
don't
Were you
fucking
going
see
to?
him.
Were you going to say about the animation of the stick falling down the hole?
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was fucking awful.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
what the fuck was that? It was like, yeah, I can't even explain it. It just looked
was
really
a s-
bad.
It was a still shot, and they've got a matte painting of a stick on like a little bit of cellophane, and they just moved it out of the way. They've animated it
Yeah,
really bad.
Which makes no
Oh,
sense
right.
because that scene, that setting exists. Why couldn't they just film the stick
Just film
falling?
it. You have a stick, you have a hole, you have a camera in the hole. Indy goes down it. You
Yeah.
could just chuck the stick down, but you can literally film that exact
I guess
thing.
they didn't film it, and they wanted to have, like, a scene between, like, shot between Indy being in one place and then being in another place with the staff. I think they wanted to just link those two
Right.
shots together,
It
and
was.
they didn't film it, so they did this.
It just looked terrible. Like it just really, really took me out for a second.
It was really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I barely noticed it.
it
I'm gonna be
was
honest.
fucking weird. I'll tell you that much.
It's just a stick.
No,
it's just a stick.
No, it's really not. It's genuinely
in an
so.
80s movie.
No,
as well,
it was
you know?
fucking bizarre. Like it made no sense.
Well, I want to hear your opinions of the CG at the end of the film. I guess we'll get there.
We'll get there. We find out that Marion's actually alive in a tent tied to a stick.
Tied to a different stick.
Different
Oh.
stick. There's a lot of sticks in this. It's a tent pole.
And Indy decides not to let her go because it will alert the Nazis that he's probably around and rescued her.
It makes sense, right? I get it. She was a bit more pissed off than I was because
She is
hasn't
not happy.
She hasn't eaten or drank in days.
Yeah.
All right. And she's still got a lot of energy despite that to scream about it. But
It's been like a day, and
yeah,
she's fine.
How would you
She's
feel if
fine.
you were fucking held hostage by the Nazis?
if Simon didn't have his hot chocky and cake, he would be very upset.
But if they did give me hot chocolate and cake, I'll be like, do you know what? I've heard a lot of bad things about you guys, but actually.
Fuck's sake.
So, yeah, Indy leaves Marion tied up with the Nazis so he can go get the Ark of the Covenant. And Toht is ready. He's there. He's ready to torture Marion. And we see that he has an interesting scar on his palm, the burned medallion of the one side of it. So that's when we know, oh, that's how they figured out the height of the staff, and it'll make sense now.
Mm.
So Indy and his crew start digging a hole in the real location.
Which is very,
And-
very close to the actual location.
Yeah.
They don't seem to give a shit that there are a lot of people around. And maybe
Well-
nobody's following them going, hang on, who are those guys?
This period of history, everyone is digging the fuck out of Egypt.
That's true.
So I don't think it would be that suspicious, honestly.
But surely they'd be like, hang on, we're busy here, mate. Can you just bugger
Oh,
off for
they're
a
in a
bit?
different place. This is their spot. They got the rights to it.
I wrote down, ooh, nice hiss. When they crack open the fucking... They crack open what they're looking for.
I wrote down in my notes, they're digging a hole and they're singing a song, but the song they're singing isn't very good. I know a better song that they could be singing.
There wasn't a single
On the digging
dwarf.
hole, man.
There wasn't a single fucking
Well,
dwarf
John Rhys
there.
Davis is there, and he played Gimli, so
Ah,
really he should have known better. If you just ignore linear time.
I often do.
Yeah, that's why we started late today.
Yeah.
So it's night now. There's a weird lightning storm just out of nowhere. It feels kind of atmospheric. and they unseal.
That's really blue screened, doesn't it?
Come on, it's the early 80s. They're doing the best that they can.
I love a good blue
Right.
screen storm, me.
You can't just phone up a talent agency and ask if they have a lightning storm that can go to Tunisia for a week. You know, it's not how it works. So Salah looks into the hole with Indy, and he asks, "Why does the floor move?" They drop a torch down, and then Indy says the famous line, "Snakes." Why
Fucking
did it have to
snakes
be
on my fucking plane.
Oh, I can't stand them. Oh, they do me head in.
Bloody snakes. Always with the bloody snakes.
Oh, you ruined my quote. But I love it. That was actually very funny, Sophie. Do
Thank
it again
you.
next time as well.
I'll keep interrupting you whenever you think you're going to do
Yeah.
something funny.
I have an
I am going-
interruption kink.
We're gonna
Is that
keep
a thing?
interrupting-
Do you know what? It probably is a thing.
It is a thing.
Fuck's
Something about-
sake.
Female dominance, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh yeah, what you were going to say wasn't very funny anyway, I bet. You
You've got a
were.
humiliation kink as well now.
Belloc has brought food and drink for Marion. And also he's brought a fancy dress and pair of shoes. And a bottle of brandy. This feels like a recipe for disaster. Yep, so he watches her change into this dress with his mirror on his little dressing table. And he almost sees a bit of a tit. But Marion hides the knife that was brought with her
Hides
dinner.
the tit.
Very. Meanwhile, Indiana Jones is not having a good night. He's in the sand at the bottom of the chamber of the Well of Souls, face to face with a cobra, by the looks of it.
Yeah,
even though they're
they
asps,
said it was
apparently.
asps. Oh,
Yeah,
very
what's-
dangerous asps.
Yeah.
I think it was
Oh,
just
asps, very dangerous.
There's all sorts
I mean-
down there.
maybe just he's talking shit, isn't he? He's talking bollocks just to seem cool in front of this guy. He's like, oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
asps then. I know.
I
an
don't
asp.
really know. We don't have many snakes in Wales. Can you imagine?
I haven't got me book.
Doesn't really have a Welsh accent, John Rhys Davies. I'm not even sure he's Welsh. He's got a Welsh name. So Marion and Belloc are downing shot after shot of brandy, and Marion is absolutely shit-faced, or at least pretending to be. But it's not working because Belloc reveals that this is actually his family brandy, and he was raised drinking this, which that's not a healthy childhood to have, is it?
No.
No. Marion is a bit tipsy. She grabs the knife and tries to make a run for it by very slowly moving backwards. But behind her is Toht, and he's got a nunchuck with him.
Oh, I do love this very much, actually.
Which I don't know what he was planning to do with that, and I'm not sure I want to know.
What? Wait, hold on. Are you talking about?
He's got like a weird, got a nunchuck.
Oh, so
thing.
you missed the
didn't.
joke.
Did you completely miss the joke?
What was the joke? Sorry,
It's a coat hanger.
it's a coat hanger.
Yes.
They, for fuck's sake.
It's a fucking
It was like you
coat.
get this big build up, and he's like, "Oh, he's got nunchucks. He's gonna fuck up. He's gonna fuck up some people." And then he attaches
I
it together, and he
fucking
hangs his coat on
bet
it.
you a cat jumped on my lap when I was watching it that moment, and I was like, "Oh, hello," and I just missed it.
Just not
For
ignoring
fuck's
it.
I actually really liked that. Like one of the very few sort of jokes that landed. That was one of them.
Do you know what? A lot of people, they write into us and they say, Simon, why do you have these two women? They don't contribute anything to this podcast. And we've just proved them wrong, ladies. We've just proved them wrong. You...
Oh, for God's sake!
I've got a stack of letters here saying, "Why do we have them women? Get them off."
Why?
Just want
Why
Simon
women?
talking about film to himself.
Why are there women? And that's it. Full stop.
Why women?
Why?
Why women? Well, thank you for explaining that joke that I just missed. That explains the nunchucks. Unbelievable. That's actually really funny now.
Also, I wonder if there's any trivia about this, but the snake pit. I wonder how many, like, real snakes versus fake snakes there are.
I thought you were going to say, I wonder if there's a bit of trivia about that guy actually did like torturing people.
No.
And he used coat hangers on them.
No.
And that wasn't even like a prop. He brought that with him.
Steven Spielberg has a coat hanger fetish.
Oh my god. Not
That's why he
everything's a
puts them
fetish.
in his films.
Sounding.
Harrison Ford has a snake fetish, which is
Why did
ironic,
it have to
I
be
guess.
snakes?
I was going to say,
God.
yeah, because his, like, whip is very snaky. And then she even mistakes the whip for a snake and almost sets
That's
him
true.
on fire.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a penis. The whip is a penis
What the
in this film.
fuck? Why? Why everything?
Not literally.
Why does everything have to be some sort of weird sexual imagery with you? Like, it's not always a sex thing. It's not always some sort of sexual imagery.
You were literally... I can't. I just can't with you.
What the fuck do you mean?
Anyway, Indy and Salah, they get the Ark, they lift it up, and we see it in all of its golden glory. It's a very shiny, big, golden thing. It looks like it's worth, gosh, I don't know, about $5,000 or maybe more.
Wow.
It's a
That's a lot.
priceless artifact. They carry it past a whole bunch of burned snakes and a few living ones, pop it in a crate, and then their crew just lift it out of the well. But Belloc sees that they've lifted a crate out of a hole in the earth, and this crate looks about the same size as maybe the Ark of the Covenant would be. And the Nazis just all scramble.
I don't know how he's supposed to know that's how big it is. For all he knows, it could be the size of a shoebox.
When you think about it, all they had to do is put a tent around this fucking hole and then just carry it away, like in the opposite direction to where the fucking Nazis are digging.
Windbreaker.
Yeah.
Because you can get change behind that and nobody will see it as long as nobody walks behind
Exactly.
the windbreaker.
A windbreaker, maybe build a couple of sandcastles there.
Yeah, have a nice time. Do you like how everybody that's digging, they were just lying down. They were just lying
Tired.
They were just having a lie down. They just sleep wherever they drop.
Because I guess they do that and then they wake up and then they keep digging. They dig till they pass out. They wake up, they keep digging.
Gosh, I hope they're being paid for this.
I
no,
don't.
All the workers
certainly
in Egypt.
not.
Yeah, like all the work.
The Nazis have their families and they're going to kill them all if they don't dig this hole.
Hmm.
So yeah, the rope is dropped down for Indy, but not dropped down in a way that Indy could climb up it. The end of it is dropped down, so he has the whole rope with no way to climb back up. I hope that's cleared up the rope situation in this scene.
I'm going to have a diagram, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I just draw a straight line of the rope. So yeah, Belloc is at the top of the hole with a whole bunch of Nazis around him, and Marion is just yeeted down. She's just tossed into this hole. She manages to grab hold of the big statue of, I presume, Anubis. Kind of looks like a dog.
Yes.
A dog face. She falls to the ground near Indy, and Belloc is not happy because he wanted Marion. That he thought she was part of the deal.
He thought she was, like, totally into him.
Yeah, because she was playing along for a little bit, and he liked that. That tickled his fancy. The chamber is sealed shut by the Nazis, so Indy and Marion are trapped down there with a whole bunch of snakes that are still alive. Only a few of them got burned earlier. And the torches are kind of going out a bit, so Indy rips Marion's dress to as fuel for the torch. These aren't flashlight torches. These are like burning, flaming torches.
Like, if her dress were polyester, it'd just fucking melt and it'd be rain.
I don't know when polyester was invented. That probably would have been an anachronism. I don't know. Can we fact check that? Don't bother.
All right, polyester. You carry on.
God.
I'm going to just read up about polyester now.
Indy sees the snakes are coming out of holes in the wall So he knows that there's hollow. There's something behind that wall, and that could be their way out. He climbs up the priceless Anubis statue and rocks against it so it falls down and smashes the wall open. Marion crawls inside, looking for Indy, and she hugs a desiccated corpse that screams at her.
They're all
even though
screaming.
It's been dead for thousands of years. Yeah, there's this one corpse, and then she bumps into another. It's like that fucking scene with Sideshow Bob and the Rakes.
Yeah.
But it's Marion and dead bodies. And they're all yelling at her. They're all going, ah! I think that's all in her head, the screams. Indy finds her, and they manage to find the back entrance of the Well of Souls, which was just there with like a loose rock.
Did you notice that there was a guy asleep outside?
Yep.
They pushed loads of rocks out the way. He still didn't wake up. They escaped.
What if a rock landed on his face?
Maybe that's why he's asleep.
Oh, God. He's probably dead. Add him
Probably
to
dead.
the 64. 65 people died in this film.
Probably that fucking tired that he's just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna. Actually, no. He kind of looks dead. Now that I look back. Yeah, he
looks
looks,
really
he looks
dead,
dead.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
Shit. So we see a bunch of Nazi planes. They're planning on flying the Ark out from here. And Indy gets into a fight next to a plane that he wants to take. And he's punching this guy. And it seems to be going quite well for him. When Auf Wiedersehen pet star and professional wrestler Pat Roach sees him, takes his shirt off, and starts laughing as he walks towards him.
He just really wanted to have a scrap. He really wanted a fucking scrap.
Yeah. He punches Indy once in the face, and Indy just falls on his ass with blood coming out his nose.
Just an aside, in 1926, they began research on large molecules and synthetic fibers. In 1928, polyester was patented in Britain. In 1946, DuPont bought all legal rights. So basically, it was around the time of polyester being a thing.
Yeah.
1928.
They probably weren't making dresses out of it.
You don't know that.
No, I don't know that. I just think it's probably unlikely. So yeah, there's a whole load of things that's happening in this action sequence. The main thing is Marion removes these chocks that keep the plane in place, whacks the pilot over the head, and manages to get herself stuck inside the fucking cockpit.
How much better would this film have been if she had actually exploded in that van?
It would have been terrible. It would have been a tragic end to her
He just
character.
gives up and goes home. He can't be arsed.
There's a fire, there's petrol leaking everywhere, there's peril. And then Pat Roach
No,
gets
it's
torn
pronounced
apart.
petrol, not peril.
There's the interruption.
Oh.
Petrol!
Fuck me. It's petrol, not peril. That fucking got me. Pat Roach is torn apart by a propeller. A bunch of blood sprays around. It's a horrible end to him, but he was a dick and a Nazi, so... Indy and Marion run off as everything just blows up. The plan the Nazis now have is to drive a truck to Cairo and fly out from there. And then the locals are really unhappy with the situation, that they have the Ark. But the Nazis all have machine guns, so what are they going to do about it? Indy steals a horse like it's Skyrim and gives chase after the truck.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
don't
put
know
in my
how he
notes.
managed to avoid getting shot. I'll be real.
Yeah. I think he had some really good rolls on his like dexterity or dodge save. He catches up with the truck. He throws the passenger out, fights the driver, and there's a guy in the back of the Ark. There's a guy in the back of the truck, and when they like slam on the accelerator, he goes flying out the back of the truck, and we hear the Wilhelm scream.
Oh, I hate that stupid scream so much.
I guess it wasn't overused at this point.
At this point, yeah, I can like forgive it because it's like, but I mean, any new films that use it just fucks me off. like
It
no
kind of takes
tomorrow.
you out of it, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, in the beginning, I wasn't so, but like, I think the more and more I keep hearing it, it just annoys me. It's not even like a nice Easter egg. It's annoying more than anything.
Yeah. There's
Oh, I
yeah,
put
Nazis.
sorry. When he said that there's asps in the snake pit, and this is going back, but I just put pss, 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 pss.
For fuck's sake.
I don't know why. You imagine going down there to the snakes and you go. Pss, 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 pss.
Actually, many of the snakes in the Well of Souls are not snakes, but legless lizards. Look for the ear holes, which snakes lack.
Thank you, Sophie,
Thank
for
you,
finding
Sophie.
that.
Thank you very much.
She did go BRB, but she left us with that.
She did. Left us with a treat.
Indy's ramming Nazis off the road now that he's driving the truck. A car flies off a cliff, and the cliff looks like it's about 1,000 feet high. Like, there is a hell of a drop.
Yeah.
A guy shoots Indy in the arm, and then a guy from the back gets into the front of the truck and punches Indy in that fucking wound where there's a bullet hole in him. And that is...
Yeah.
He like punched him like 3 times, I think, in the same
right.
place
That-
where he just got shot. That is fucked.
Yeah, like,
And then he throws Indy
savage.
through the windshield.
yeah.
Indy kind of like he just about holds onto the front, and then he's being dragged by a rope down the back. It's ridiculous. It's absurd that he somehow manages to get back in the truck from this situation.
It was bizarre. Also, that guy, before it all kicked off, there was a guy, and his name was Golber. I think he was like, one of the Nazis' names was Golber, and I was just like, what the they have like a thing with like G names? Like Goebbels,
yeah.
Golber.
I mean, there's an awful lot of words that begin with G in German. A lot of verbs begin with G. So there's a lot, G is used quite frequently. Why? Not so much. Just how it works. That's why it's Querz keyboards in Germany are not QWERTY.
Gwert.
It's still a W, not a V, but a V is pronounced W and a V is pronounced F. So that's confusing. So VW would be pronounced FV in... No, not really.
Well, that is confusing because isn't a VW a
Yeah.
Volkswagen VW
Volkswagen is how it would be
That's
pronounced.
even more ironic.
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
I mean, the V isn't quite like an F, but it's close. So yeah, Indy gets back in the truck, throws the guy out through the windshield like he got thrown out, but the guy ends up getting run over instead of...
Well, because the bar that Indy used to keep himself up was bent. Because he used it and he bent it, and that same guy tried to use the same one, and then it just went and he fucking went under the truck.
It kind of reminds me when someone's like trying to climb up a drain pipe and it goes
Or like that scene in what's it called, Rush Hour, one of the Rush Hours, where they're like climbing the bamboo scaffolding, and it just whatever's holding it together just keeps bending to a point where it bent so much, or it sort of snapped so much that they ended up back on the ground floor. Amazing scene in the movie.
Rush Hour, a film with a black guy and a Chinese guy, and still managed to be really, really, really racist.
It did, didn't it?
Yep.
Probably written by a white guy, though, to be fair.
Oh my god.
Probably.
Can we fact check that?
Of course.
So Indy drives the Ark to Cairo. Helpful locals hide the truck immediately. I don't know how they were so cooperative, just out of nowhere. But the truck is hidden. The Nazis don't see it. And we meet Captain Katanga, who is the captain of a steamboat, which they are going to take the Ark to England on.
England!
That's where it belongs. It belongs in a museum, the British Museum. Indy and Marion say goodbye to Salah, and Marion gives a very good goodbye. She gives a kiss on the cheek, and then a kiss on the old lips.
Yeah, that made me feel a little weird.
Salah walks away happy as Larry, and he starts singing a song from HMS Pinafore. And he did sing this song earlier, but I didn't catch that it was from HMS Pinafore at this point.
Did Salah get paid in any way other than a snog? Because I don't think he got paid. I don't think anybody got paid.
No.
I think
his payment was fucking over the Nazis.
that's payment enough for me too.
Yeah.
I can feed my 9 children on fucking over the Nazis.
Exposure. He got paid in exposure.
Great to feed my kids with exposure.
I like how...
Oh, they died of exposure.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
I like how
we have a very...
Sorry,
Sorry, G, go on.
the captain was like, your appearance is exactly...
Sorry, go on, G.
I'm going to hurt
continue.
you. Shut the fuck up. He said, your appearance is exactly the way I imagined. I'm like, what is that? What's the insult? I don't get it. What is this supposed to mean?
I think it's because Indy looks tired, knackered, he's been punched and scuffed up.
I guess.
And that's the joke. Like, I heard you're a real rough piece of shit.
I guess.
That looks like you've been through a mangler. I guess that's
So
the joke.
random.
Can we talk about the most erotic scene of the movie now, please?
What, where she thwops him in the head with the mirror?
The monkey already died.
He already died. That sexy goddamn spy Nazi monkey is dead.
The spy monkey's dead.
So we have Indy complaining about it hurts all over. And then Marion says, well, goddamn it, Indy, where doesn't it hurt? And then he points to his elbow, and she gives a little kiss on his elbow. And then he points at his forehead, and she gives a little kiss on his forehead.
Forehead, which he winced at
Yeah.
touching before.
Yeah, he does have a bit of a boo-boo.
Typical man. But it's fine.
And then he points to his eyelid, and she kisses his eyelid.
What, you don't...
right?
That's not that abnormal.
I'm sorry, but that's weird.
It's not
I don't like
weird.
that.
It's not weird. You're just strange.
Have you watched those Japanese eye licking
That's
videos?
not the same thing. That's not in...
I love that you know what I'm talking about.
Because
though.
people have like brought up eye licking. That makes no sense. Kissing somebody like around the eye or on their face, kissing them all over the face, that's not the same as licking someone's eyeball.
Got beautiful eyes, gee.
So Indy points to his lips, and Marion kisses him on the lips.
Why are we...
but then
what
he-
is this?
but-
We're getting into some
But then
weird... what?
Then he passes out before he can point down to his cock. That's the joke. I was gonna make G.
And
the joke.
she's pissed off, right? And I'm like, first of all, lady, he hasn't slept in
You knew it was coming,
days.
right?
I
He
actually
hasn't
did it.
slept in days. Just give him a fucking break. Maybe he doesn't want to have a shag.
Well, he does,
Well, he
because
kinda
it's
does.
obvious that they fucked during the night because she's not wearing that silky dressing gown thing. Dressing
I didn't even
nightgown.
notice. I did not even notice.
Yeah,
He is very attractive in this scene. I'm watching it back and I'm like, oh,
you like seeing a man in pain.
yes. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
that's your thing.
That is definitely my
Um,
thing. I'm
Women,
joking.
am I right?
I'm joking. He just looks really attractive in this scene, okay? And he's in shape as well.
Is there anything else you want to fucking just get moist over for Harrison Ford? Do you know what? I do appreciate the point of view of women and, them finding things attractive. I'm all for that. Go ahead.
What are you talking about? I didn't know where he was going when he started that. I thought he'd be like, no, I can't
honestly,
do this. I can't do this.
I was baiting it near the start of the episode when I was like, "Oh, talk about Indy's iconic look," and and I was kind of setting you up to go on, and you did a little.
I'm definitely more of a Han Solo era
Really?
lover.
Right.
That's interesting. I
I
don't
think it's
find
his
him
hair.
that attractive in when he's Han Solo.
No, I'm googling him now, and I'm thinking,
Yeah,
There's some bits where he's all right.
Yeah,
I maybe I just don't find him that attractive.
You're attracted to Indiana Jones, not Harrison Ford.
no, I think he is very attractive, but he's very attractive in this. honestly.
Was he in Working Girl, right?
Yeah, he was in Working Girl. He was alright in
So
that.
when was that?
That was 88.
88, yeah.
That was arguably peak Harrison Ford.
Wow.
There was a really good picture. Oh, found it.
Oh no.
Go
He's
on.
got sunglasses on and he's outside a hotel.
I
You
know,
know the one?
I know
You know the
exactly.
other one?
I know exactly. Please
What?
post it. Post it.
Wow. There's a couple of him in the same outfit. That's the one. And him in the kitchen.
Oh,
You seen him in the kitchen?
Oh my god.
God.
He looks amazing there.
These
How
are the
cool he is.
ones.
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, that was very young Harrison Ford, wasn't it?
Yeah. That is what I'm talking about. Right there.
This is now a Harrison Ford Lust podcast.
Oh no, he's not wearing a shirt there.
Oh,
He's come
Are
off.
those the
his
same
mask, come off.
sunglasses?
Yeah, maybe.
probably. I'm pretty old. I have this. This is on my rotation of desktop wallpapers. No
Damn.
cap.
That's good hair.
Wallpapers?
Yeah, on my desktop.
Oh. Hey,
Yeah,
gee.
you could see it when she's streaming sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
you just see a bit of anime tit out of nowhere.
That's Harrison Ford is not anime tit, okay?
No, but he's like the 1% that's not anime tit.
Are you subscribed to the subreddit Vintage Lady Boners on
No.
on Reddit?
What? Vintage?
Ooh,
Listeners,
Vintage
here's your
Lady
tip.
Boners.
Vintage lady boners.
I'm
Vintage.
going right now.
It's
Sophie,
all
you need to post some young Jeffrey Coombs on there.
I do.
He does
I do.
Coombe.
People have they post like their own grandparents on there sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty
Oh,
fucked
fuck
up.
off.
Oh man, like Elizabeth Taylor, hot. Marlon Brando, hot. Holy shit.
Sam Elliott in Hawaii Five-0. Some people are ridiculous.
Yeah, some of these are ridiculous, but
They are stupid. But then you get some that it's like, hang on a minute.
ooh, Pierce Brosnan. Ooh.
Pierce
Bronson.
Bronson.
Oh, Charles Bronson. Oh.
Stop.
I love a bit of Charles Bronson. Oh, look, there's a Harrison Ford there with his shirt ripped.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Fucking Robert Henry Goldsboro.
The fuck is that?
He's only got 15 upvotes.
For the time, you know, they kind of look like fucking ugly, disgusting frogs, right? So that's kind of handsome. He's kind of handsome.
There's Udo Kier on there. He looks like
Hang
a
on.
baby. I don't like him.
I got something insanely hot
Hopkins.
here. Let me just post this for you ladies. Here's Jeffrey. Our boy Jeff.
Oh, Jeffrey.
His pineal gland is out for the ladies to see.
Woo, woo, woo.
Homina.
Sometimes though, like the ones that make it to my homepage.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
A lot of it at the moment is Marlon Brando. Somebody's gone on a spree.
Of Marlon Brando.
Someone posted Joe Biden, and it's got 232 upvotes.
Was it young Joe Biden?
Yeah, very young Joe Biden.
Oh,
But my God,
oh my god! Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
god!
Prince. Someone's recently posted Prince, and I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Is that our president?
That's our president.
Well, not our president.
He's
but
fucking rizzed up,
It's
dude.
Anne President.
Holy shit! This is quite the subreddit.
See why I fucking like it. Sometimes you get a fucking banger, and you're like, "Holy shit!" There was this guy who he was a model at some point, and he died dead young, and I can't remember his name, but like
Fabio.
he gets posted there sometimes.
What if Fabio died when that goose hit him in the face?
That would be a way to die.
What a way to die.
Someone's
Okay.
posted George the Sixth.
It's Vintage Lady Boners subreddit, if you
Someone
want to check
posted
out.
Engelbert Humperdinck in the shower.
Oh my god. Please do not repost that in the
Okay.
chat. Thank you. Let's get back on topic. Topic. So, we have a shot of the Ark of the Covenant doing a deep warble in the cargo hold.
Warble.
It burns away the swastika that's on the wooden crate that the Nazis put it in. Indy wakes up in bed, and Marion is not wearing her silk nightgown.
That's very
kind
true.
of behind her. It was just strewn away at some point. Maybe it was just very hot that evening, and yeah.
Yeah, winky face.
Wink,
Yeah.
Diggo.
I bet it did get hot that evening.
It sure did. There's a U-boat, which is German for underwater boat, which is a submarine.
Right.
A U-boat is German for underwater boat. What am I missing?
It literally, no, that is literally what it means.
But it's the letter
U-boat.
U, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Unterwasser, right? Or Unterwassen.
Yeah, so there's the
Means
full word.
underwater.
There's the full word.
Yeah,
No, not
That's
the
what
U.
the U. Yeah, that's what the U stands for in U-boat. So, well, they don't call them
Word.
boats; they call them boots. So it's a boot, which sounds like a Canadian trying to
What
say
you
boat.
talking about?
So sorry. Yeah, the Nazis are there. They got a submarine. Let's just call it that. Fuck it. They're here to get the Ark, obviously. Captain Katanga lies to them and says that he killed Indiana Jones, and that's why they can't find him. He's definitely not hiding in a tube over there. And he's planning to sell Marion off. So can he please keep her? Because
Oh,
you've
please,
ruined
can
their
we
day.
keep her? Please.
Oh, please.
The Nazi guy says, no. And then Belloc says, I'll have Marion. She's my payment.
Damn.
And then the captain and his crew cheer when they see a very wet Indiana Jones clambering aboard the U-boat. And doing some pretty good moves to climb up onto it. Quite impressive. Like Jackie Chan, almost. I just love watching Jackie Chan climb up things and jump over things. He's so graceful. It's amazing.
He is very graceful. Yes. Also, as they were like negotiating to give her away and stuff, that the captain is like he's holding onto her hair and he's smelling it.
Yeah, he's acting the role.
Yeah.
For some reason, he doesn't like the Nazis.
For some reason.
Can't imagine.
Yeah.
He is a black man. If you couldn't guess from his name and you've not watched the film. The U-boat swims. The U-boat swims to somewhere near Greece, G-Star Games.
Shout out
To
Greece.
They're in the Aegean Sea.
Aegean.
How
Yep.
do you say shout out to Greece in Greek?
I have no idea, honestly.
Yo, what up, Malakas?
It's not really a phrase that G's used before.
Yeah, I
really.
don't think it is. I don't know if shout out even like exists in the
You must know Go Greece or something.
Ate helada. Opa. There you go.
Opa!
Ate helada. There you go.
Thanks,
Very
G.
good.
You're welcome.
Gyros Malakas.
Yeah,
That's the two
gyros.
words I know.
Gyros and
Yeah.
wanker.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's as
It's
far
gonna-
as his
if
Greek
I ever
goes.
get stranded in Greece, I'm gonna get the shit kicked out of me very quickly. So the Nazis have a secret base here, just off of the Mediterranean, which is a very good tactical place to have a base for U-boats. It's a real location that actually exists.
Oh my god, you mean to tell me that they actually have places that exist in this film?
No
And
way.
it's not all made up? Did
It's
Harrison
off of
Ford
France.
did
in real
Harrison
life.
Ford sail on the top of a fucking U-boat the entire way?
Sorry, I thought we were going to talk about Harrison Ford's cock again.
Can we not talk about Harrison's
I'm
Ford
not
cock
interested
again?
anymore.
Now, inside the U-boat, right, there was a Harrison Ford doppelganger, was there not?
Yeah, that was confusing. I was like, where did he get that uniform? Wait, hang on. And then I
Yeah.
rewound it and I was like, that's not Harrison Ford.
Why are they
What was-
taking these why are they actually even keeping this in the film? Like, it's no...
I don't know. Maybe
you
it's
think he
supposed to
was-
throw the audience off? I don't
Yeah, or maybe he was supposed to, like... No, because they would never get away with it unless there was a doppelganger on... Just coincidentally, a doppelganger on the on the U-boat.
Right. So when they see him in Nazi uniform later, they think it's just Jürgen or someone. Matthias, I don't know, German names. Well, I guess that might be the reason that he exists. Huh.
But it was very confusing. And not the fact that he went on top of a fucking U-boat all the way to Greece.
Yeah. Well, it is fairly far.
How did he hold his breath that long?
Ask Marion, she might know. Indy does a silent takedown on a Nazi and attempts to put on his uniform, but it's too small. Then another Nazi comes along and starts berating him in German, which is the language that they use to talk to each other in.
That's crazy.
And Indy acts quite ashamed, but then just punches him in the face and then takes his uniform.
I do love that. I love how, like, he was sort of going to go along with it, but then he just got bored and was like, nah, I can't. And then just clocks him in the face.
I'm so
My
tired.
German isn't that good to get away with this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to punch you in the face.
Buongiorno.
Due to Belloq's insistence, they're going to test the power of the Ark of the Covenant here on this little island before they ship it off to Berlin. So Hitler doesn't just get zapped by a laser or like something horrible happens to him. So they're testing it first. And
The real reason is that Belloq wants all the power for himself, I think.
yes, he wants to betray the Nazis and become
Super Nazi.
king. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird though that he has like a weird golden staff and this ceremonial get-up just ready.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, champ. I almost didn't
that he
recognize
changes
him.
into.
And it's a Jewish a Hebrew ceremony that they have to do. So some of the Germans are really uncomfortable with it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I was just distracted by his Connect 4 necklace. In all honesty, like, I don't know what the fuck that was, but
It's very important to the ritual they're about to do.
yeah.
They have a little procession up this mountain on the island. It's quite ceremonial. And Indiana Jones kind of ambushes them, and he's got a rocket launcher. I'm not sure he's entirely thought out this plan. He threatens to blow up the Ark, but says that he will leave as long as they give him Marion. That's all he wants. They can keep the Ark. Belloq kind of calls his bluff and, like, gets the Nazis away from the Ark so it's a target he can hit clearly. And he says a great line. He says, Indiana, we are simply passing through history. This is history. Do as you will. And Indy can't just blow up the Ark of the Covenant, this ancient artifact.
He'd rather have that happen and let the Nazis win. He'd be like cool with it.
I guess he probably thinks I can probably get out of whatever situation I end up in.
Did you like that special little blanket that somebody's made for the Ark? That it's a perfectly fitting blanket. Somebody sat down, instead of a blanket, they sewed it into the shape so that it's got the little pointy bits.
Where did they get that
Somebody
from?
sat down and knit and sewed that for it.
Very
They were
quickly.
Got to keep him warm.
Keep it toasty. Keep all the ghosts
Keep 'em warm.
toasty.
So yeah, Indy and Marion are tied to a pole.
Every time you say that, I
bit of
keep
a-
thinking you're saying Indian Marion. I'm like, who the fuck is Indian Marion? Who is this?
Indian Marion is tied to a pole, a bit of a distance away from the Ark, but it's clearly in view to them. And Belloq starts performing this ancient Hebrew ritual to awaken the power of the Ark, presumably. And he has his fancy outfit on, and he's really going to town. And they open up the Ark, and there aren't the stone tablets with the 10 Commandments broken up. There's just dust. A very fine powder, like sand, is all that's inside.
Oh, shit.
Toht just starts laughing like an insane person. Belloq just looks absolutely gutted. But then this is when things kick off. The electricity goes a bit haywire. The power goes out. We hear the deep warbling again. And the dust inside of the Ark just starts glowing. And this is when Indy warns Marion. Indy having, they both know what was written on that medallion, right? Marion had it in her possession for a decent amount of time, right? But she doesn't know to close her eyes when the Ark is opened. But Indy does.
How does he
and
know?
He mansplains to her, Marion, don't look at it. Shut your eyes, Marion. Don't look at it no matter what happens. Please.
My favorite.
Please, Marion.
She sort of like was closing her eyes, but her eyes were kind of like opening at the same time. And I'm just like, you're not really.
I think she started to close her eyes and then Indy started talking. So she opened her eyes.
No, there was sort of like.
And then he said, close your eyes.
Yeah, it was just such a bizarre little scene.
And then we get these weird golden lasers shooting out, and they start blasting Nazis through their chests. They like burn from the inside. We see these weird ghosts flying around with nice, beautiful faces that turn ugly and horrible. And a bunch of people's faces end up melted, like candles. And then there's a big fire tornado that goes all the way up into heaven. And Indy and Marion miss all of this exciting action because they just got their eyes closed. But their ropes have been burned away in all of this, so they're untied and they're safe. And the Ark is just sat there all peaceful. Job done. Indy is now back in Professor Jones mode. The army have paid him off, and he's not happy about this because it belongs in a museum. But they say, don't worry, we got our top men on hiding the Ark away. And Marion just wants to have a drink, and that kind of calms Indy down a bit because he's a man. A woman and booze is all he needs. And we get that final shot. We got the final shot of the Ark being hauled away into a museum where there's a whole bunch of other crates that look pretty much identical to the one it's in. And this warehouse just goes on and on and on. There's maybe tens of thousands of these crates. And God knows what's in some of them, you know?
They've got a large backlog of world-destroying artifacts. They're not going to get through it.
They do.
It's like the SCP Foundation.
They were like, we've got to, it'll be researched and stuff. And then they just put it in a box and fucking wheel it off. Bye!
Honestly, best place for it, really.
Yeah.
I like to think that every artifact there is from like a different religion. It's a super weapon from every religion.
Because every religion has one, right?
Yeah.
Christians have Jesus himself. He is the ultimate
weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of is, if you think about it.
Okay, well, that was our description of the film, our little discussion. Our final thoughts, G-Star Games. This was your pick. Would you like to summarize your final thoughts and feelings and give this film a rating?
I really like this film. I think it's, it's kind of wacky in certain areas, but that's fine because that's the charm of it. Some likable characters littered throughout. Obviously some of them are very caricature-esque. Again, I think that's the point. It's not meant to be taken super seriously. There's a lot to like about it, like some of the sets and whatnot. It did feel kind of like set-like sometimes, I guess. Like it wasn't 100% convincing at times. Like it did feel like it was on a set. But overall, I think this is it's an 8 out of 10.
G-Star Games.
I like it. I think it's a really, really good film.
That's a G film.
That's a G
film. Sophie, would you like to go next?
Yeah. It's a film to watch on a day when you're home from school with the flu. It's I was pretty bored. Like, not like things happened, but they didn't feel like they were really happening. I was like, okay, that's happening. And I didn't remember much outside of the parodied stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it again. Fair enough. I was like, I was more annoyed. I was a bit irritated by things. I liked when everybody melted. 4 out of 10.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it.
So funnily enough, I saw that she had given it a 2 on Letterboxd, and I was like,
oh, spoilers.
I was like, oh,
Spoilers.
she didn't like it. Ugh.
Spoilers.
fuck! I cannot believe you've done this.
Sorry, kids.
So, what did you really not like about it?
It
Bored, boring.
I was bored by it. You know,
Fucking hell.
there was action, but nothing really happened.
Oh, I know. Not enough prostitutes got murdered.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing, my friends. I think I just don't like movies. I say I like
That's
movies.
not true.
And then
Come
people show
on.
me a movie and I'm like, what
Come
the fuck was that?
on.
And then I put on some bollocks.
You just
about-
have
Hold
specific
on. Let her cook.
tastes.
Let her cook. She's
Some
cooking.
fucking
What's the tea,
bollocks
sis? Come on.
about a guy who believes that he can actually he's invented a television that he can see into heaven because of dead parents, and then he's really upset by it because it doesn't work, so he gets on a bus. He's going to do a hijack of a bus, but it's full of old ladies, and he does a hijack and he ends up in the desert, and then they just fucking explode the bus and the credits roll. I think that is a fucking film.
What film's that?
That's Static.
Static.
I love Static.
Rings a bell.
It's got Keith Gordon in it, who was in Jaws 3.
Oh, Jesus
Christine.
Christ.
Fucking hell.
It's the main guy from Christine.
You do love Christine because you were
Yeah.
named after Christine.
I was named.
Her middle
my
name,
My
not
daddy named
Sophie.
me after a car.
Yeah.
It was either that or Ford Focus.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
And here's the other thing. I think Steven Spielberg just does not tickle my fancy a lot of the time. He makes quite
Okay.
boring films. Jaws. I was bored by Jaws, wasn't I?
Oh my God.
I was bored by E.T. E.T.'s a fucking boring wanker.
All right, that's it. I don't want to hear any more from you.
Goonies,
You're done.
boring.
You're done. You're off the pod.
Goonies.
We're getting Lydia instead.
Gremlins. I'm all right with.
That's Joe Dante.
Yeah, he's an executive producer.
Okay.
See what I mean? Though, I'm just not.
You're
Down
a
with-
little. You're a little weirdo, and that's why we love you. And you have
Yeah.
specific tastes when it comes to cinema,
Yeah.
and this is not your taste.
No, it's not my.
Okay.
thing.
Sometimes Booth says something that I think that's so insightful. Wow, she knows what she's talking, and then she goes and gives like some fucking weird ass movie, like a 5 out of 5 stars, and then I go, oh,
Fucking hell.
Do you know? Right. I watched a film yesterday called Octoman. Okay. And Octoman is the most intense pile of garbage. It's so funny
Is it about
because
a man with 8 limbs?
yeah, he's just a man in an octopus suit, and he's like killing
Right.
people. He hits a guy, and his eye comes out. It's like that kind of
That's
stupid. And
good.
I gave that. That would have been a 3 out of 10.
So that's worse than Indiana Jones. I
Yeah,
think we're all
slightly
agreed
worse.
on that.
Yeah,
That
but
probably
only
is a worse
slightly
film.
worse.
Yeah.
Come on.
4 out of 10.
I thought that was better than Heat. You know.
I'm trying to be
bloody
very
hell.
careful and not just saying horrendous things at you because I do like you. And
Oh,
I want
that's
to call
nice,
you a
Simon.
dumb fucking crazy bitch. I just can't with you. I gave this 9 out of 10.
Fucking hell!
sheesh, sheesh. Nice.
I was raised on Indiana Jones movies. My parents raised
You
me,
raise
but
me
I
up.
watched
They sat you in front
them
of the telly.
repeatedly. Yeah. Last Crusade, I probably watched more than the other 2 because there was only 3 Indiana Jones movies, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Canon. Only 3.
So Last Crusade watched many, 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 many times. Raiders, I only watched many, many times.
Uh-huh.
Temple of Doom, I only watched a few times. That didn't quite do it for me, but I loved Raiders. I used to watch these films just all the fucking time, taped on VHS from the telly, probably with all the fucking adverts in it as well. Yeah. It's a classic. It's a classic. Indiana Jones as a character is just an icon. And this is a very well-made, well-paced film that's a very simple treasure hunt plot with a little bit of, comedy, a little bit of petrol along the way.
Sorry to cut. What? So you gave this a 3? Did you say, Booth?
I gave 4.
A 4. What did she give Tomb Raider?
I think I gave it like a 1.
No, please, God, no. 1. She gave Tomb Raider 1.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
She did not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is 4 times as good as Tomb Raider. Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that was why I put this on to begin with. Because you guys weren't that fussed about Tomb Raider, so I'm like, okay.
Sophie, have you watched National Treasure, starring Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas.
It is a fun romp. And you probably would enjoy it more than this.
What about Vibes?
Because it's stupid. Vibes.
Yeah.
Vibes.
You know
Vibes. Kevin Bacon?
It's got Peter Falk. It's got Jeff Goldblum, and it's got
Jeff Goldblum's
Cyndi Lauper. And they go looking for treasure. It all falls
and
apart.
Julian Sands, rest in peace.
Yeah, it all falls apart towards the end, but that's cool. It's got vibes, literally. It's got vibes.
Literally vibes. Well, it's about vibes as in psychic feelings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's Sophie's recommendation.
Well, that's what vibes are.
Fucking dumb.
I just cannot believe you sometimes. 4 out of 10 Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I just don't understand it.
Good God.
I just do not understand it.
Have we found any interesting bits of trivia that we have not mentioned previously? Aside from the fact that the same actor who played Sturmbannführer Arnold Ernst Toht in Raiders of the Lost Ark played the Bishop of Bath and Wells in Blackadder II.
Yeah. So many of the snakes in the World of Souls are not snakes, but they are actually legless lizards. Look for the ear holes which snakes lack.
Oh no!
I already said that when you were AFK.
I was having a wee.
Yeah, you're having a wee.
So sorry.
I'm
so sorry. That was a big long piss you did.
Yeah, well, I also found a lot of cat sick on the floor, so I was singing about it. There was some cat sick on the stairs. La 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 la. See?
So the opening sequence featured live tarantulas, as we know, on Alfred Molina, but they did not move until a female tarantula was introduced.
Oh my God.
And then they started singing.
I was going to say, and then they all started explaining the plot to films.
To achieve the sound of thousands of snakes slithering, Ben Burt stuck his fingers into a cheese casserole.
What are you talking about?
This was augmented by applying wet sponges to the grip tape of a skateboard.
Foley artists, the most insane people in existence.
Honestly, they're incredible.
They do for their art.
They also did the punching sounds by hitting a pile of leather jackets with a baseball bat.
Jeez.
Oh, it's a classic sound, that punch. Classic.
The World of Souls required 7,000 snakes.
Oh my God.
The only venomous snakes were the cobras. One crew member was bitten on set by a python. And a python died because it got bitten by a cobra.
The guy who got bitten by the python, they had to waggle its tail so that its jaws came loose when the vibration of the wave went up the body of the snake.
Damn.
Really weird. If you look carefully during the Well of Souls scenes, you can see there's a golden pillar with a tiny engraving of R2-D2 and C-3PO from Star Wars.
Man, what a fucking wanker.
I think they're also on like a frieze or a carving on the wall behind Indy when they first see the Ark. There's a couple of little Easter eggs.
Wickle.
When they're in that Well of Souls.
Did you see they wanted Danny DeVito to play Salah?
Oh my
That would not
God.
have made any fucking sense whatsoever.
No, that would have been odd. Very odd.
So the Raiders of the Lost Ark was added to the National Film Registry by the United
Belongs in a museum.
by the United States Library of Congress It's the only Indiana Jones film to have been included. Films are chosen for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Traditionally, when one of his films is about to open, George Lucas goes on holiday. Get away from all the drama. When Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope was just about to open, Lucas went to Hawaii, where he was joined by Steven Spielberg. When they found out just how much money Star Wars was making, and it was clear it was going to be a big hit, Lucas calmed down, relaxed, and just talked freely with his friend. And Spielberg confessed he always wanted to direct a James Bond film, and Lucas was like, hey, I've got a better idea. It's this adventure movie. I call it Raiders of the Lost Ark. Apparently, this conversation occurred when they were making a sandcastle together on the beach.
That's adorable.
Just a couple
Insane.
of bros
hanging out.
making a fucking sandcastle. Talking.
I knew they were suffering from cholera. John Rhys Davies suffered from cholera at the time. In a deleted scene where Salah was confronted by a Nazi soldier, John Rhys Davies, who was suffering from cholera at the time, was required to bend down. Unfortunately, this prompted a very sick Rhys Davies to soil himself. I'm not sure that's true.
Where are you getting this from?
True. That's from
Did you
IMDb.
not read this like in your head before you read it out loud just now?
Yeah, but I thought it was so fucking funny that I'm gonna say that's true.
Jesus Christ!
How?
So
it's got
animal.
Right.
This. Sorry.
You know what? No, you carry on.
Okay. Frank Marshall, the monkey wrangler. He told Empire magazine that he got the monkey to do the Nazi salute by putting a grape on a fishing pole and getting the monkey to try and reach for the grape when it was dangling just out of view of the camera.
Grape.
It took about 50 takes to get it to look as good as it did in the final
That's
cut.
50 grapes.
And I've already mentioned Frank, but it's worth saying again. Frank Velker provided the chittering and chattering sounds for the monkey. And he was also Abu in Aladdin.
Hey.
That's just a man making all those noises.
Of course,
That's
it's a
insane
man.
to me. Like, what a job.
Did you see in the map room, one of the buildings has red graffiti written on it. It says Nicht stören, which is German for do not disturb.
That's
Oh, Storen. Okay.
Isn't that-
Stören.
Storen.
is that the same thing that I said about the little build?
Yeah.
Oh, so it says do not
That's what it
disturb.
actually
It is
said.
actually-
Yeah.
So if you scroll down far enough, Simon, down this page, there is a fucking chatting triv bit. I'm not going to read it out, but
Yeah.
my fucking
A
god.
wall of text.
A big wall of text.
Essaying, I think, is the...
Essaying. Scenes cut from the film. Blah, 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 blah. It literally takes up the entire screen.
Oh my god, fuck that.
Like, just give me one sentence. I'm not reading anything else.
I'm sorry that happened, or I'm happy for you. I'm not reading that.
Yeah, whatever.
Are we done with trivia? I think we should be.
I think
'cause
we're
this is a long one.
done. This is a big,
long one.
big one today. Big one.
Well, it was an interesting one to talk about.
Yeah.
It was. I agree.
G-Star Games, what was the box office and budget for this film? Was this a hit?
Oh, it definitely was. The budget, 20 million, and the box office was a whopping 389.9 million.
That's over $1.3 billion in today's money.
Hey, did you know anime voice actor Bob Papenbrook voiced some of the screaming natives chasing Indiana?
That's crazy. That's woof.
I know that you know all anime voice
I
actors
do.
ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Personally.
Personally, I know them all. I invite them to Thanksgiving, even though I'm not
Ah,
American.
he was in Akira.
Oh,
he was in-
Akira.
Oh.
He was in God, he's done loads.
Sophie, do you think this would make a good video game?
No.
Damn. Well, that's.
Was there not an Amiga Raiders?
Well, yeah, there was fucking loads of this shit. My god. Let me just have a quick Google.
Where is she going to Google?
She's leaving. She's had enough.
Bye. So there's an Atari version of it, and God, yeah.
There's a new one recently announced that looks fucking sick by Bethesda.
What? What?
Come on, tell me you knew about this.
Are they just publishing it, or is this
I
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? Bethesda?
Yeah.
What?
You're-
What's happening?
You're joking.
How did I not fucking know about this?
What the fuck? And it's got Todd Howard's name. Todd Howard! Toddy!
Todd Howard is playing Indiana Jones?
Yeah, he's not. He's just fucking...
Oh, he's playing Short Round. Sorry.
It looks really good, honestly. Like, it dead ass looks amazing. I really hope they do a good job with this.
I did not know about this. This is news to me. What the fuck?
I'm pretty sure Troy Baker is voice acting.
Oh, Christ. Of
He
course
sounds good,
fucking
though.
is.
He sounds good. Like, I wanted to
Of course
hate
he
initially,
is.
but he actually
It's
does
always like
sound
the
good.
same 4 people voicing every video game character.
Yeah. I agree. But he does actually sound good. He sounds like indie. If you listen.
Okay, well, that's something to look forward to. I played the Lego Indiana Jones games. They were good. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
good fun. You know, you drive a car around and you got a whip and, you know,
That is
it's
a
a
car.
Lego game. It's silly.
Yeah. I do love the Lego
not
games.
as-
Fun.
Not as good as like the, you know, the Lord of the Rings ones and Star Wars ones. It's a lot lower down. I think they made it early. One of the
Yeah.
earlier ones, maybe. Oh shit! We got a fucking roll for movies, and I don't think I've yet replaced my fucking film.
I thought were you not supposed to last week?
I was locked out, so I didn't get around to doing it.
That's fine. I'll replace mine with Crocodile Dundee.
Is this a joke? Is this a joke?
I'm not joking.
You're just a stereotype. You're just I can't believe you're real.
Australia's
I can't
not
believe you're
real,
real.
so that's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna add another horror movie on there. Fuck it.
It'd be great
It's
if it
one of my
was
favourites.
if it was Hugh Jackman that played in Crocodile Dundee. That'd be just so G, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be really good.
Maybe they should remake it with him.
I mean, it's either
Just remake him.
if you really don't want that, I can choose something else.
No, that's funny. It's funny.
I've got a lot of other options. Like, just say
so
the
it's
word.
the first film
Yeah.
with Mick Dundee.
It's been a very long
86.
time since I've seen the Crocodile Dundee, so it'll be interesting if it
Okay.
does get picked.
I have put Horror Express on my list. It's legit one of my favorite, like, old horror movies. I think it's because it's on a train, and I love shit on a train.
I love Christopher Lee.
Yes, and Peter Cushing, of course,
Of
because
course.
it just wouldn't be the same without both of them.
Mm.
Okay, so our current lists are my list has The Guest, Action Jackson, Horror Express, Murder Ahoy, Krull, and Host. G has Perfect Blue, Crocodile Dundee, Sea of Love, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Shutter Island, and Coraline.
Wait, I added Mr. and Mrs.
Sophie.
Smith?
Yes, you did!
I don't even remember that.
The reaction from me and Sophie, we just groaned.
I don't even remember adding that. What? Wow.
You added it before the break that we had, and I was like, what? When did you add this? And you said, Simon, I told you to add it to the list before we took a break for everything.
No, I'm
But
kidding.
then you forgot. This is our fucking brains, listeners. Our fucking brains.
My
This is
brains
what
are
happens when you
dying.
watch too many films.
Like,
Sophie's list has Labyrinth, The Hidden, Rothors, Wild at Heart, Total Recall, and Cemetery Man.
Do you like, you like a horror train? Do you like Terror Train as a film, Simon? You seen it?
I do not really like it. No. I don't know why. Trying to fucking remember it. It's the
Jamie Lee Curtis, and they've got like loads of kids that go on a fucking. I don't know why they go on a train.
Under Siege 2 as well is on a train. I do actually enjoy that.
Do you like the Polar Express? Do you like that? Do you like it?
That's a horror movie, all right.
Okay. Sometimes it takes more than just a train. Snowpiercer is on a train. So first roll is what position on each of our lists will be. Let's see what we get. It's a 6, which means it will be host, a short horror film. Coraline, G's pick, or Sophie's pick, Cemetery Man.
Ooh,
Please, dear
Cemetery
God.
Man. I want that.
Please. Okay, 1 or 2 will be me. A 3 or 4 will be G. A 5 or 6 will be Sophie. It's Simon. We're watching Host,
Awesome.
which I think is on Shudder, and it's like an hour long.
Excellent.
Oh no, it's the fucking Zoom call.
Yeah, it is. It's the fucking COVID lockdown movie.
Oh fuck me sideways. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Right.
I can tell you're all very excited about
No,
this.
I'm not at all. Fuck.
It's only an hour long, G-Star
That's
Games.
the only saving grace. That it's only an hour.
long.
How are you feeling, Sophie?
I have no feeling. I'm completely
She's
devoid of all
numb.
feeling.
She's numb. She's
Numb.
gone numb.
I'm numb to it now. That's it.
Comfortably numb?
No, it's very uncomfortable.
Oh.
I'm scared.
Well, you should be. It's a horror movie, so... That's Host on Shudder. Host. You can get a free trial for Shudder, if you want, from places.
I'm thinking of getting a Arrow video sub. I'm more, like there are films.
Surprised
on
you
Arrow.
haven't already got one.
Well, yeah,
honestly.
it's like I have a lot of the films, but there are some things that I don't have, and I'm thinking, actually, it'd be quite good to actually have
It'd be
that.
useful to have, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
I'd probably do
All right,
that.
lades. We're
Right, kid.
done. Say goodbye to our beloved audience that we love very much, Gin.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
beloved audience. We love you very much,
Bye-bye.
Kins. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening.
Muchkins.
Kiss, kiss. Mwah, kiss, kiss.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Dun, 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 dun.
Da, da, da.
Da-da-da-da.
Da, da, da,
Groom
da,
the
da, da.
15-year-old.
Hello and welcome to the thank you segment of this podcast episode here at YOMP, where we say thank you very much to our Patreon supporters of all tiers, but specifically those at the Giga Yompa tier, our executive producers. Thank you very much to Bottle Gnomes, Enki13, Lawrence Thibodeau, Luck33, Scott5877, Sleepy Dish, and I'm a Robot. Thank you very much, and we will catch you guys next episode. Good day.